Hi everyone. In this video we are going to learn about the topic structure and composition of atmosphere from the chapter Atmosphere and the Climate for the grade 9 students. Here we are in the coming classes we will explore more about local winds, how it's their impact, and especially about Indian monsoon, how it has its own impacts on our life, agriculture and livelihood across the different regions of our country, and explain the causes and effects of the climatic changes, and how through some graphs explanations we will certainly check into, and climatic changes influences intensity of its disasters. All these topics we are going to cover slowly one by one. Coming to the question, to the ponder, how does the structure and composition of atmosphere make life possible on the earth, and what might happen if this balance is disturbed? Life will not exist, right now. So see here, the answer here is dependent on structure and composition, where we do have this one. Depending upon the weightage of this question, the marks which I am talking about, suppose if it's a 5 marks or 2 marks, the content of this question varies. So let's discuss. You all know what could be the answer right now, so we'll discuss slowly. Introduction. These two questions, you don't worry, we will discuss in the coming classes. Right now, as I already told you, this is a topic which we are going to cover today. The earth is surrounded by the layer of the air called atmosphere. So atmosphere is just a layer of air. How? Suppose this is earth and there is a blanket around it. That blanket has its own layers, where we are going to study its all the layers features, how these layers are making our life existence, sustenance on the planet earth. This invisible blanket is essential for life on our planet. It provides oxygen for breathing, number 1. It protects us from harmful solar radiation, number 2, like through O3, ozone layer in the mesosphere. And it helps maintain sustainable temperature for survival. Warm temperatures, it will not harsh, okay? Warm temperatures without the atmosphere, that means the layer of the air. Without the layer of the air, life on the earth would not be possible. I hope you got the first question answer, but elaboration is obviously it is there, we are going to cover. Now coming to the second paragraph, weather and climate. Here you have to know about the differences between these two, and the same is been given here. Weather refers to the short term changes in the atmospheric conditions. What is a short term? On what basis you will understand the weather is the variations which you are noticing in the temperature, rainfall and the wind. Temperature means hot or cold, rainfall, how much the rain it's coming, or is it a drought, or the wind climate, what's the movement of the wind, is it hot or cold. So the study of these three for the shorter period of time makes a sense called weather. And then coming to the climate, the constant study of the weather for about 30 plus years, then the average weather pattern of that place. Suppose any area, you are studying the weather patterns of that area for about 30 years, then that becomes the climate place over a longer period. I hope you have understood the two differences of weather and climate. This chapter explains the structure and composition, as I already discussed with you. Not just the structure and composition, factors that influence the weather and climate, and how the atmospheric process affects the season, monsoon, floods, climatic changes. Everything will deal slow. Structure and composition of the atmosphere, the topic of this video. The atmosphere is not uniform throughout. So we all know that earth will not have a uniform atmosphere everywhere. It is arranged in distinct layers, as I have explained above, each with a specific characteristics. These layers differ in temperature, that is hot and cold, density, the compactness of the air, Air do has its weight, its pressure, it acts on the earth's surface, and composition is a structure, uh, structure which we are going to understand. The atmosphere also contains a mixture of gases that are essential for life. Structure of the atmosphere you can see here, and there is a beautiful diagram here which explains you everything, the picture. The atmosphere consists of different layers with varying density and temperature. The density of air is the highest near the earth's surface, because I already told you the atoms of the air has its weight, and it acts up, the pressure acts upon the earth's surface. The decreases with the increasing altitude. Near the earth's surface it is very much, so the weight will fall on the earth's surface, and as you go up the altitude means the heights, this pressure will go decreased. The atmospheric column is divided into 5 distinctive layers based on the temperature conditions. These layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. The first one is troposphere. This is the lowest layer of the atmosphere and the one in which we live. So, immediately on the earth's surface, which layer is there? Troposphere is there. It lies between 0 to 12 kilometers above the earth's surface and extends roughly to the height of 8 kilometers near the poles. Suppose you all know poles. See here, earth, here the poles will be there. It extends up to 8 kilometers. One second. Earth, poles, 8 kilometers and 12 kilometers at the equator. This is the equator, 0 degrees, 0 degrees, and these are the poles, and it extends up to 8 kilometers. Here it is 12 kilometers. So, it contains about 75% of the total air in the atmosphere. So, this is the area where air having its composition of 75%. Most weather phenomena is happening here. In this area only, the reactions of the sun and earth and the pressure will act very much, and which gives a very existence of the life possible on the earth due to this weatheric phenomena, where clouds, rain, storm, wind and fog will take place. So, occur in this layer. This layer contains most of the air we breathe and almost all the water vapor present here. The temperature decreases as we move upwards in the topography. As I already told you, the density of the air, the molecules of the air, the atoms of the air will be very high over here in this layer itself, and as we move up, these things will not be that much in the other spheres. So, obviously, the temperature over as we move up, it will be coming down. The upper boundaries of the troposphere is called as tropopause. As you can see, this is a troposphere, this layer which is exactly above the earth's surface. This is the earth's surface, and this is called the troposphere. This layer is called troposphere, which is beneath the, or else at the beginning of the stratosphere. Now coming to the second one, stratosphere. It lies above the troposphere between 12 to 15. The range is between 12 to 15 kilometers. It contains the O3. O3 means ozone layer, which absorbs the UV rays. Without this layer, it is not possible for us to have the life on the earth. Earth's natural protection it is without this UV rays which is coming out of the sun will directly fall on the earth, where life will not be existent. It protects us from cancer. Ozone 3 layer will protect us from the from the cataracts and agriculture damages. The earth is quite very good place to live. If without this it is not possible. The temperature increases with the height due to the absorption of solar radiation. In this layer, lot of reactions will be taking place. Solar radiations will be absorbed and react. It is so much oxidative, reactive nature, oxygen. So that is the thing. And jet planes often fly in this layer because there won't be any much weather disturbances. As you can see here, there won't be much disturbances, air disturbances, as you compare to the troposphere. Lot of air molecules will be there, and it is not so with the stratosphere. So here the planes will fly. That's what they have said. It is relatively stable and free from the weather disturbances. I hope it's clear till here. Mesosphere, coming to the third one, it lies above the stratosphere and extends up to the ranges 50 to 80 kilometers. This is the coldest layer of the atmosphere. The temperature decreases with altitude. As you move up, the temperature will be falling down. Most meteors burn up in this layer. Yes, because the friction will happen. Atoms are not dense as it has to be in the tropo and the strato. Here they are very limited, but here it won't be so much as compared to the thermo and exo. So the meteors which are falling from the space, it will have friction in this layer rather than this and this. I hope it's clear for you. Due to the friction, the most of the spheres catch up the fire before it reaches to the earth's surface. Coming to the upper boundary is called as mesosphere. Mesopause. This layer is called as mesopause. The beginning layer of the thermosphere is called mesopause. Now coming to the fourth layer is called as thermosphere. It lies above the mesosphere and extends up ranges 80 to 700 kilometers. This range, as you all can see. 1 second, I would like to clear. Now for the better understanding. The temperature increases rapidly with the height, reaching very high values. It contains electrically charged particles, ions, because it is reacting towards the Earth's sun rays. So it is also known as ions. The air molecules are getting charged with the sun rays, heat. This layer helps in radio communication by reflecting radio waves back to the earth. See here, important thing over here is radio waves refract so sharply back, very quickly it will refract. So the waves which we are sending from the earth, it will revert back, which helps in communication. That's what they meant here. Northern and southern lights, or the lights, this one you can see the colorful lights over here. This will happen with the northern and southern lights aurora occur in this layer because of the atoms, charged atoms. The International Space Station orbits in this lower part of this layer. So coming to here, exosphere, the fifth, the outermost layer of the atmosphere. It lies above the thermosphere and extends up to 700 kilometers and above. Air is extremely thin here, and particles can escape into space. Very sparse. Very limited atoms will be here in this layer. It gradually merges with the outer space. Satellites orbit in the earth. On the earth, on this layer. Suppose this is the earth, satellites will be orbiting around it. See, satellite, it is. So it will act upon 8,000 meters per second, moving upwards fasterly into the space, and even gravity will pull back for every second 5 kilometers. So this velocity and the gravity will make this satellite revolve around the earth. Due to the curvature nature of the earth, this will not fall on. So this balance is maintained so that we do have a study of our climatic conditions and communications well to happen. So coming to the composition of the atmosphere, the next topic of this video, the atmosphere is mixture of gases. As you can see, 78% is nitrogen, oxygen 21, and other gases is 1%. The mixture is very important because it supports life, regulates temperature, and protects the earth. Major gases. First we are discussing about the nitrogen, which is abundant gas in the atmosphere. It is non-reactive. It is not easily reactive with other substances. It helps for the plants because it creates chlorophyll during the process of photosynthesis. Nitrogen will help the plant to grow. Next, oxygen. Oxygen is the second most abundant gas. It is essential for all the living organisms to grow. It also supports the combustion. As it's oxidized in nature, so it will help to it help most in the energy production and industrial activities. Coming to be aware of the information over here is quite important. The Amazon rainforest is often called as lungs of the earth because it produces large amount of oxygen through photosynthesis. As we all know, plants gives us oxygen. Trees and plants in the Amazon absorbs carbon dioxide. By taking the carbon dioxide, plants gives us the oxygen and releasing oxygen, helping to maintain balance. In this way, our planet Earth is maintaining the balance of the gases in the atmosphere. If this gets disturbed, we all know what will happen. Life will not be possible, and it is not easy also. Deforestation means what? Cutting of the trees in a particular area or wiping out of the plants or greenery in an area. In an Amazon reduces oxygen production. If you go on cutting the trees, so it is certain that oxygen production will go down and increases carbon dioxide. This is not a good phenomena because carbon dioxide is packs the heat and will impact the climate very badly, which brings the rise in the temperature. That is what this warning is of. So coming to the argon, it is a non-reactive gas and does not take part in a biological process. It's found in a small amount, 0.93% in the atmosphere. It is mainly used in industries. In what way it is used in industries? Steel making, electric bulbs, welding. Not just that, it is also used as used in packing of the food. It is non-reactive. It prevents oxidization. So this one is also used in semiconductors, LED screens and all. So experimentation laboratories. This gas has been widely in use in industries. So carbon dioxide, this is a small amount only present here. 0.04 carbon dioxide is very important. It is necessary for photosynthesis for the plants to take the carbon dioxide and releases out the oxygen. While making the food, it is quite important for the plants. It is also a greenhouse gas, meaning it helps to trap the heat in the atmosphere. It traps the heat in the atmosphere, which making the earth warm. When the earth is warm, then life is possible. Very good. But if this carbon dioxide increases, which creates global warming, through which this is bad again, through which the glaciers will melt, water will increase, the land will submerge. So all things will happen with this. So we have to maintain sustainability in every step of our life. Other gases, this includes neon, helium, hydrogen, oxygen. Ozone is very important because it absorbs harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun in the stratosphere. As I already discussed to you, other gases are most inert, means not reactive, does not play a major role in the life process. Now coming to the water vapor, it is a variable component, meaning its amount change from place to place and season to season. It depends upon the topography of the land, so the water vapor will not be the same in all the places. it is more in warm and coastal areas and less in the cold and dry regions like deserts. We know that how the water vapor acts in the polar regions. See, wherever the water is surrounded by, the climate of this area is moderate, because water vapor will be there in the atmosphere, the nearby layer of the land. It plays a key role in the formation of the clouds. So when the water reacts to the sun's heat, it rises up and creates cold clouds, rain, fog, humidity. It also helps in regulating temperature by absorbing heat and preventing extreme cold or weather. Coming to dust particles, smoke, pollen, salt particles, soil particles, ash are the major dust particles found in the atmosphere. They help in formation of clouds. We have studied it by providing a surface to the water vapor can condense. As the air atoms fly into the air due to the heat, low pressure will happen, the air will rise up, they start condensing with the help of dust particles. They form the base. That's what they said here. They also cause beautiful phenomena like sunrise and sunset. See, one thing I would like to mention over here is shorter waves and longer waves of the sun rays will make this beautiful to our eyes. Why does life exist only in the topography? That's a question here from the quick one. The answer is, already you know, the most of the atmosphere lie there, which creates the life existence. In this layer, this is the nearest layer where the oxygen, water vapor and temperature favorable conditions, we have already discussed all these things, where the ecosystem is present. So in this way life is possible, and in this layer most life is existing in this layer. If the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere continues to increase rapidly, how would it affect the atmosphere? You know, carbon dioxide, answer is here. It traps the heat in the atmosphere and keeps the earth warm, and which is enough for life. If not, it creates a global warming, which is again a threatful to the existence of our life. Here one more activity has been given. Draw a neat and labeled diagram showing the layers of the atmosphere, which will make you to understand better. Go with this activity. By the next class, we will be going to deal with elements of weather and climate, and the questions also, as it is mentioned here. Indian monsoons and will only come once we will discuss about elements and weather and climate. I hope you understand this video, a small topic. Thank you very much.